You know, in all my years of tinkering with cars, from steam-powered relics to the latest hypercars, I've learned one thing. The auto industry never stands still. Just when you think you've got it all figured out, a company like Ford comes along and decides to shake things up. We're talking about a change that goes right to the heart of their most important new vehicle, the F-150 Lightning. It's the kind of move that doesn't just make headlines. It signals a fundamental shift in how automakers are thinking about the future of electric vehicles. It's like finding out your favorite steakhouse is changing its secret recipe. You're curious, a little nervous, but you know it's a big deal. Now, we're not talking about a simple facelift here, a new grille or some fancy new headlights. This is something much deeper, something that lives under the floorboards and defines the entire character of the truck. The F-150 Lightning has been a monumental success for Ford, proving that an electric pickup can be tough, capable, and incredibly popular. But behind the scenes, a plan is in motion to alter its very DNA. As we stand here on September 19, 2025, whispers have turned into credible reports, and it seems Ford is gearing up to make a change that will affect every single standard range Lightning rolling off the line by the end of this year. This isn't just some minor tweak to the infotainment system. This is about the battery, the single most expensive and crucial component in any EV. It's the engine, the fuel tank, and the soul of the machine all rolled into one. And when a company with the history of Ford, the company that put the world on wheels with the Model T, decides to change the core technology in its flagship electric truck, you have to pay attention. This isn't just a business decision, it's a statement about where the entire industry is headed. It's a gamble, a strategic pivot. And for potential buyers, it's a whole new set of questions to consider. So, what's the big secret? What's this monumental change that has the industry buzzing? It's all about a three-letter acronym, LFP. That stands for lithium iron phosphate, a different type of battery chemistry than what Ford has been using in the Lightning up until now. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. Ford is officially planning to transition its standard range F-150 Lightning models to lithium iron phosphate LFP batteries. This isn't just a rumor anymore. Reports are firming up. Changeover scheduled by late 2025. Trucks built after that will have a fundamentally different power source. It's a huge move. Ford getting serious about the next phase of the EV revolution. That next phase, affordability over raw performance. For years, the standard battery was nickel manganese cobalt NMC. NMC packs a lot of energy into a small space. More range from a lighter, more compact pack. Long-range EVs and performance bragging rights. But that performance comes at a cost. Materials like cobalt and nickel are expensive. They're often sourced from regions with complicated, sometimes unstable supply chains. That reality keeps car executives up at night. So why pivot to LFP? It's strategic. Moving standard trucks to LFP is a calculated decision. Ford is effectively splitting the lineup. Keep NMC for extended range models. For people who need to tow a boat 300 miles, offer LFP as a more accessible, potentially more durable option for everyday users. This is Ford remembering its roots. Henry Ford's legacy. He made cars affordable for everyone. This battery switch is that philosophy in modern form. The transition is happening now. Ford is about to give you that choice. So, what's the big deal with LFP batteries? Why would Ford change its star player? It really boils down to three key things: cost, durability, where you get your parts. First and foremost, let's talk about money. LFP batteries are significantly cheaper to produce than NMC counterparts. The main reason is they don't use cobalt. Cobalt is incredibly expensive and has ethical and geopolitical headaches. By eliminating cobalt, Ford can slash the cost of the battery pack, which helps make EVs more affordable for the average person. Next up is durability. These things are workhorses. LFP chemistry is more stable. It handles more charge and discharge cycles. We're talking thousands of cycles. NMC might give you 1,000 to 2,000 full cycles, but a good LFP can go 3,000, 5,000 or more. For a truck owner keeping their vehicle a decade or more, that's a massive advantage. The battery is likely to outlast many other components of the truck. It's the kind of long-term reliability Ford built its reputation on. Then there's the supply chain angle. Moving away from cobalt and nickel reduces dependence on a handful of countries. Iron and phosphate are far more abundant and geographically dispersed. In fact, Ford is building its own LFP plant in Marshall, Michigan. This is a huge step toward onshoring production and a more resilient domestic supply chain. It's about taking control of your own destiny. Something Henry Ford would have liked. Cheaper, longer lasting, more secure sourcing, safer. You can see why Ford's engineers and accountants are excited. Now, as any good engineer or mechanic will tell you, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Every design choice involves a trade-off, and the switch to LFP batteries is no exception. While you gain a lot in cost and longevity, you have to give something up. The main thing you're giving up is energy density. In simple terms, LFP batteries are a bit chunkier. To get the same amount of energy, you need a physically larger battery pack and a heavier battery pack compared to an NMC unit. Or if you keep the pack the same size, you'll end up with less total energy storage, which means less driving range. This is the big compromise at the heart of Ford's decision. The new standard range F-150 Lightning, with an LFP battery, will likely have a slightly shorter official EPA range than the current NMC-equipped model. For a customer who just uses their truck for commuting, running errands, or the occasional trip to the hardware store, this reduction might be completely unnoticeable. A range of, say, 220 miles instead of 240 miles probably doesn't change daily life at all. But for someone who pushes the limits of their range or lives in a more rural area, every single mile counts, and this could be a deciding factor. It's a classic case of matching the tool to the job. Ford is betting many customers don't need maximum range every day. They're betting that a lower purchase price and a battery that will last 15 to 20 years are more attractive than an extra 20 miles of range. It's a shift away from range anxiety marketing toward a practical, value-oriented approach. One of the most talked about characteristics of LFP batteries is their performance in the cold. It's a known issue that LFP chemistry gets a bit sluggish when the temperature drops. The ions just don't move as freely as they do in an NMC battery. This can lead to two potential problems for drivers in northern climates: a more significant drop in available range, slower charging speeds. If you live in Miami, this is all just academic talk. But if you live in Minneapolis or Anchorage, this is a very real concern that could impact your daily life during the winter months. Let's be clear, the truck will still work in the cold. It's not going to leave you stranded the moment the first snowflake falls. Modern EVs, including those with LFP batteries, have sophisticated battery management and preconditioning systems. These systems use a small amount of energy to warm the battery up to its optimal operating temperature. So, if you precondition the truck while it's still plugged into your home charger, you'll start your day with a warm battery and much of your expected range intact. However, if you jump into a cold-soaked truck that's been sitting outside all night, you will see a noticeable reduction in performance and range until the battery warms itself up. The other side of the cold weather coin is charging. Trying to fast charge a freezing cold LFP battery can be a slow process. The battery's management system will deliberately limit the charging speed to protect the battery cells. This means that a DC fast charging stop on a winter road trip could take significantly longer than it would in the summer. Again, automakers are developing clever solutions, like having the vehicle automatically start preheating the battery as you navigate to a known fast charging station. Make no mistake, when Ford makes a move this big with the F-Series, the best-selling vehicle in America for over 4 decades, everyone else in the industry sits up and takes notice. This isn't just a Ford story, it's a signal to the entire automotive world. Companies like General Motors and Stellantis, the parent company of Ram, are watching this LFP transition like hawks. They're running the numbers, they're polling their customers, they're trying to figure out if they need to follow suit. Ford is essentially acting as a real-world test case for the viability of affordable, durable EVs in the mainstream truck market. For GM, the Chevrolet Silverado EV and the GMC Sierra EV, the pressure is on. These trucks are built on the Lithium platform, designed to be flexible, but focused on massive range and impressive performance using NMC-style chemistry. If Ford's LFP-equipped Lightning starts flying off the lots because of a lower price point, GM will have to accelerate plans to add LFP or other lower-cost chemistries. They can't be the expensive, high-end only option, while Ford sells trucks to the masses. Stellantis Ram 1500 Rev are a little late to the electric truck party, which can be an advantage. They can watch. If LFP is a home run for Ford, Ram can build affordable, standard-range LFP models from the start. They can learn from Ford's implementation, especially cold weather performance and customer education. Sometimes being a fast follower is smarter than being first. Beyond trucks, this move legitimizes LFP batteries across North America. LFP was long seen as cheaper tech used mainly in China. With Ford placing it in an iconic vehicle, that perception changes overnight, and the ripple effects will be felt across showrooms and boardrooms for years to come. So, we come to the million-dollar question, or hopefully the much less than $1 million question. Should you wait to buy the F-150 Lightning? As with any good car advice, the answer is, it depends. It depends entirely on who you are and what you need a truck for. There's no single right answer, but we can break it down to make the choice clearer. By the end of this year, you'll have 3 choices: brand new LFP model, leftover, or used NMC standard range model, premium extended range NMC model. Let's say you're a contractor, you're a fleet manager, or you value long-term cost of ownership above all else. You use your truck for local jobs. You don't tow heavy loads across the state. And you plan on keeping this vehicle a long time. For you, waiting for the LFP-equipped Lightning is a smart move. Expect a lower sticker price up front, and a battery built to last thousands of charge cycles. On the other hand, maybe you live in a colder climate like Vermont or North Dakota, you don't have a heated garage, or your work requires long distances. Every extra mile of range is a critical buffer. In that case, hunt for current standard range NMC models before they're gone. You get slightly better range and more reliable cold weather performance. If maximum range is your top priority, the extended range NMC model is the king of the hill. Ultimately, be an informed buyer. Knowledge is the power to pick the right one for your garage. When you step back and look at the big picture, Ford's decision to put LFP batteries in the F-150 Lightning is more than just a technical update. It's a return to the company's core identity. The first wave of modern electric vehicles was all about pushing the boundaries. The quickest 0 to 60 time, the longest range, the biggest touchscreens. It was about proving that EVs could be better than gasoline cars. They were marketed to early adopters and tech enthusiasts, people willing to pay a premium. But that's not a sustainable path to mass adoption. What Ford is doing with this move is channeling the spirit of its founder, Henry Ford. The Model T wasn't the fastest. It wasn't the most luxurious. It wasn't the most advanced car of its day, but it was affordable. It was reliable. Simple enough to be maintained by the average person. It was a car for the masses, not just the wealthy elite. By prioritizing cost and durability with LFP batteries, Ford is making a conscious choice to pivot the F-150 Lightning from technological marvel to a practical tool for everyone. It's a signal the EV market is finally maturing. This shift is about democratizing the electric truck. The focus is shifting from how far can it go on one charge to how long will this battery last and how much will it save me over 10 years. It's a bold move. It's a smart move. They're getting back to the business of putting the world on wheels, just with a different kind of power under the hood.